Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Weeknights. I am JD, aka He Who Pods. Glasses on today, so also rear view mirror.
Dash, aka Dashing D, aka the real king of R&B. Album coming out on the 12th.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get started.
Let's. First, let's get some RIPs out the way. We haven't done RIPs in a while, and there's been a few passings. So we just want to get some RIPs out there. So rest in peace to George Foreman, Young Scooter, Bishop Brigante, and Val Kilmer. I feel like there's one more, and if we did miss someone, I apologize. But we just want to say rest in peace to those gentlemen. Everybody did something different. We're not gonna eulogize them today. We just want to say rest in peace to everybody who passed.
Prayers to their families.
Right. And now let's get into the show. So actually, let me pull it up so I could be correct in my reporting. According to Blex Media, Antoine Fuqua's Michael biopic may be split into 2 films and is likely delayed again.
Yep, people been waiting on this film too.
It says things are looking a little shaky for the Michael Jackson biopic directed by Antoine Fuqua. What was once positioned as a fall 2025 tentpole release is now surrounded by whispers of delays, rewrites, and even the possibility of being split into 2 films. And honestly, with a life as grand, complicated, and globally impactful as Michael Jackson's, a 2-part film just might make sense. Lionsgate has yet to make anything official, but sources are saying the current cut of Michael is nearing 4 hours, and it still doesn't feel complete. Let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, go ahead. No, please. You first.
I was just gonna say, well, we've been waiting a long time for this film. I mean, they've been talking about this film for over a year. I'm sure it was longer, but as far as like, okay, guys, it's in production. We are working on it. You know, this person's gonna play that role. This person's gonna play this role. So now we're in it. You know, we're invested. We've talked about it on this here podcast before, and so to hear that it's being delayed again, what's up with that? And if it gets split into 2 films, does that mean that we're gonna see one? Because this is going to theaters, right?
Yes.
Does that mean we get? Is it gonna be like Wicked, where we get one now and then we get the other one later, much later, like a year later?
I would assume so.
I don't want that. Never mind. Never mind. Keep it. Unpopular opinion, but keep it. I don't. Sorry. I'm not trying to watch half the story now and half the story next year. I just don't. I'm just not interested in that. So, then keep it. I live through it. I may not know all the ins and outs and the ups and downs, but you know, I very much had my fill of Michael Jackson. So, because I probably will only see one. I hate that. I hate that. Anyway, sorry.
No need to be sorry. That's what we do here. Talk about it.
I'm just
Um,
not interested in that.
I don't want to see 2 Michael Jackson movies. Let me tell y'all something. We saw the doc when we were younger. We saw the TV movie when we were younger.
Uh-huh.
Then y'all did Surviving Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of Michael Jackson, and I'm a big Michael Jackson fan. Let me be clear. And my
Oh,
dad
same.
might be the biggest Michael Jackson fan on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure if I call my dad right now, he'll say, I'm not watching 2 of them. So do what y'all got to do to make it good. Bring it down to 2.5 hours, and you got me.
Right.
But I'm not going for more than 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And all right, listen, you know what? 2 hours, 40 minutes.
No.
If y'all do 2 hours, 40 minutes, I'll go.
No. Too long.
But that's the most I'm giving y'all. Because I like Antoine Fuqua. He's great.
He's wonderful.
And I know they're gonna say Fuqua and not Fuqua. I don't give a fuck why. And I think him doing the Michael Jackson biopic, he's gonna make sure it comes out great. And so
I just wasn't expecting that. I'm sorry.
Fuqua.
Mhm.
But I'm not watching 4 hours of Michael Jackson. So y'all figure out how y'all want to do it and make it good. But Freddie Mercury didn't get 4 hours. Whitney Houston didn't get 4 hours. NWA didn't get 4 hours. I don't think Michael needs 4 hours. Y'all could find a way to breeze through this and hit the important parts. So get it down to 220, 240, something in there, you know.
Please
And
stop
you
saying
got me.
240.
I'll go. I'm saying 240 is the max I'll sit there for.
No, I know. And I'm saying, please stop saying 240 because even that is overwhelming. I feel like 235 is solid. Don't give me that extra 5 minutes. Keep it.
Okay. But anything more than that, I'm not watching. I'm not watching 2 movies because I'm gonna tell you what happens if they make it 2 movies. If they make it 2 movies, people gonna say, "Yeah, gave us Black Michael Jackson in one film and White Michael Jackson in the next film."
Maybe that's what it is. I mean,
I don't want it. I don't want it. So I hope they are able to fix this. I hope they're able to figure it out. I hope it comes out at some point, and it's worth the wait.
fix it, Jesus. Anyway.
Dash is a comedian today. Definitely in your comedian bag this episode. um, and let's keep it going here. Something that was not delayed, something that was actually just announced, is Cardi B has announced she got big things coming.
Yes, she does.
Cardi B told, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said very exciting. That's all. Keep going. Please.
Cardi B told WWD during an exclusive interview that she got a beauty line coming. Quote, "My beauty line, people have been expecting that like an album." This is from Revolt TV. It says Cardi B just announced her first ever beauty and fashion brand, a joint venture with Revolve, inspired by her Bronx roots. The line is giving the glam and curve-hugging fits that'll reflect her signature style. Cardi aims to build a billion-dollar empire that resonates with the red carpet to the streets. That resonates from the red carpet to the streets. As she says, quote, "We have to come in strong."
Whenever they say things like resonate from the red carpet to the streets, I get worried. What does that mean?
It means they're gonna give you glitz, glam, and hold up, fam.
Now, I gotta be honest. Whoever styles Cardi, for the most part, she can definitely serve a look. I think she's shown that she's got good red carpet style. Good red carpet style isn't always your own. Like, it might be a reflection of you,
Right.
your style, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you are selecting, like, you're the eye that selected these pieces. So I always get a little nervous when artists say that they're starting a clothing line or something like that. A lot of artists have put out clothing lines that weren't very good. And I guess I'm just okay, maybe I'm not the target audience because I'm also not looking for beauty or
You're not.
fashion from Cardi B.
Yeah, you're not.
Um, I think this is great. I think being able to go outside of the thing that people know you for is great. I don't ever think that you should pigeonhole yourself into just doing one thing or, this or that. I think if you want to make makeup or skincare products, you should do it. Maybe you'll be good at it. Maybe you won't, but maybe you'll be good at it. If you want to make clothes. The clothes specifically, not always good when artists dive into that world. And then they try to they do this thing where they're like, we're gonna try to make sure that the red carpet it resonates from red carpet to street, and that typically doesn't go well.
Who? I'm unfamiliar. Who else has said something like that?
We've had maybe not those exact words being said, but we've had artists who have created clothing lines before that weren't good. People talk a lot about Ivy Park, which we haven't seen in a while, but Ivy Park was Beyonce's brand. That was great. Like everybody loved that, but before there was Ivy Park, there was House of Darion.
Oh, I remember that.
Was it good? Nelly said he's bringing back apple bottom jeans. Bottom jeans weren't good. I mean, we can make the list.
Sure.
It's
Well, I know
it's not
there's
their
been bad
fault.
clothing brands. I just was asking about the range of things they say they're gonna cover. I'm not familiar with other brands that said that, so maybe the Beyonce brands were a good example.
I feel like brands like that, whenever it's like an artist, they try to pitch it as, well, we're gonna combine like their style with, the sensibilities of streetwear. That's usually the shtick, even though they might not say what they said about Cardi B specifically. That's a common thing that happens. So it's like, oh, so you're going to basically cheapen her red carpet looks from when she's wearing Versace and when she's wearing Louis Vuitton and all of those brands. You're going to create a line where it's supposed to be reminiscent of when she's dressing like that, but it's for regular everyday people to buy, so it has to be at a certain price point, which means you can't use certain fabrics and you got to keep the price low, and it ends up looking cheap. A lot of
Yeah.
times when baby fat, okay, the sweatsuits, people love them and they were fire, but you want to dive into the world of baby fat, all of it wasn't good. People might have a problem with what I'm saying, and that's fine. I understand. I like clothes. I like my clothes to not look cheap. So I understand, and I don't think you have to spend a whole lot of money for your clothes not to look cheap.
I agree with that.
So I always get nervous when somebody's like, "Yeah, I'm putting out a clothing line," and I'm like, "Is it gonna look good?" I told you I had bought them J-Lo jeans that one time, and those jeans were great. Ran those jeans into the ground, but you know what? All the clothes weren't good.
Speaking of J-Lo, we
What
spoke
she do?
about Selena,
Mm-hmm.
the Selena movie, and the woman was denied probation.
And should.
Yeah. But flipping it
Yeah.
back to Cardi, I think Cardi B is really on point with fashion and serving up looks. I
Mm-hmm.
also think Cardi B stands behind the brands that she builds. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that both the makeup and the clothing line will represent Cardi in a good way.
I
And I
hope
think
so.
they're gonna sell like a motherfucker. I think she's gonna sell lots and lots of items and make a lot of money like she has with her other deals. One thing about Cardi is she's a hustler. Two things about Cardi is she know how to get the coins.
She
So
does.
I'm excited for Cardi. I won't be wearing any of this because it's not for me, and I don't wear makeup. Even though I probably should do something to hide these bags, maybe Cardi could hook me up.
Maybe
But
Cardi can hook you up. Yeah.
yeah, maybe you could give me, maybe Cardi could help me out with some bag decreasing makeup. I don't know. I don't know the name of these things. That's not my world. But
I think.
hey man, whatever. So yeah, I'm making jokes.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm excited for Cardi. Another big brand deal. Shout out to Cardi B for always hustling, chasing the coin. And the last thing I'm gonna say, which if Cardi hears this, she's not gonna like, but Cardi gonna give y'all everything but an album.
Oh yeah, and she what did she say? They've been people have been waiting for this the way they're waiting for an album. Yeah, that's true, Cardi. What I
That's it. I ain't even gonna say nothing else. That was my last thought.
okay, rap Rihanna at this
Right.
point. But okay, so let me just say this. I am more excited about the beauty portion of this than the clothing portion of this. I've made my fears clear on the clothing side, but I do think that um skincare, beauty that can be successful, and not that clothing can't be. It's just I'm less optimistic about that. I'm more optimistic about skincare and whatnot. And you can also like tweak skincare formulas. So if you and beauty formulas, so if you release something and then people try it and they give feedback, that's something that you can continue to fine tune.
Right.
So I like the idea of that. I also like the fact that she's diversifying her portfolio. I think that's great. Um, but yeah, so I would be more inclined to try the beauty side of whatever's
The
coming.
eye cream.
Yeah. Also, Revolve. I know she's working with Revolve, so maybe there is um maybe that won't be so bad. Now that I think about it, maybe that won't be so bad cuz Revolve tends to live up to a certain standard. So I
Okay.
hope that they maintain that integrity when they're working with Cardi because I want Cardi to be successful. She's not giving us an album. She should then get her coins wherever she can?
But the coins are coming.
No, I know they're coming, but I'm just saying if that's not what you want to do, then do the things you want to do is all I'm trying to say. And make your money off of that, which is fine and she's always done. So
I was trying to think of a nice way to say that.
yeah, I'm not saying that she hasn't. I'm just saying why not like do your thing. I think like I said, there's this expectation of her to continue to push forward with the music. But I guess the point I'm making here is that it's never been only about the music. Cardi B was definitely a personality before the music really took off. Um so she doesn't need it. And I think that's what makes the music folks who want it frustrated because she doesn't need it. And she knows that. She's like, I'll get to it. I want to know what's really going on behind the scenes, to be honest. I want to know what the conversations are like. I want to know what the label thinks. I want to know what she really thinks. Because there got to be a reason why, they tease us a little bit with some singles, some loosies here and there, and then it's quiet. I feel like there's more to the story with this Cardi B album thing.
Of course.
But we'll never know. Anyway.
All right. Last topic. Hard to talk about, but I'm trying to get through this. We spoke about rewind. A while back, we spoke about CNN doing a Kobe doc. And it came out and I didn't know. And one day I was on HBO Max, or I'm sorry, the Max app. And it was on the banner. 3-part Kobe doc out. So it's out. It's called Kobe, The Making of a Legend. First of all, I wish that this docu-series is 3 parts. I wish they had a different name for this. The reason I say that is because this was not about the making of a legend. Part 1 speaks about his dad's issues with the NBA and substance and all of that stuff, and how they moved to Italy. He grew up in Italy, and what that did for him. How him watching his dad become a star in Italy kind of paved the way for young Kobe to be a star as well. And his work ethic, his work ethic and some of the things that we know him for, how they started out even very young. All right, cool. And then him going to the NBA and all the way to him winning his first championship, him celebrating with his dad, him making sure his dad is in the forefront, all of those things. And then it goes into him meeting Vanessa and his family kind of not fucking with him after that. Okay, cool. And the first episode ends with Kobe being like alone in the locker room when he wins the second championship or the third championship. I think it was the second one. And so they make this big thing of like, now Kobe's dad wasn't there. Now we didn't see his family around. And the night of the championship, everybody's popping bottles and excited. And we can't find Kobe. And Kobe is like sitting alone, hugging the championship trophy in a bathroom stall. And they make this thing of like, now Kobe is alone and isolated. All right, cool.
How did they even get footage of that?
Kobe's had cameras around him since he was very small. And so also there are sports crews that are allowed to film certain things. So like locker room footage is allowed and different things like that. You're allowed to do locker room interviews and stuff like that.
So technically he wasn't alone. Right?
Well, everyone was celebrating in the main area, so to speak.
Okay.
And everybody, they say, like, everybody's like, but where's Kobe? Where's Kobe? And finally he was found in the bathroom section, like on the floor. Yeah, there's a picture. I'll send it to you.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was trying to understand. Like, if he was alone, how did they even have
He was nowhere near the rest of the team.
Okay.
Dad wasn't there. Mom wasn't there. Vanessa wasn't there. Nobody's there. Okay.
Gotcha.
The entire second episode is about the case in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
The SA case in Colorado. The entire second episode is about that. There are 43 minutes. 5 minutes are not about that. 5. This was crazy to me. Not that they shouldn't speak about this. Yeah, it's a journalistic approach. You should speak about the things going on in Kobe's life during his history. But your shit is called The Making of a Legend. And to spend an entire episode on that case really sound like you were trying to tear down a legend. Okay? They did their best to make it clear that Kobe did this and that the only reason he didn't go to jail is because the young lady dropped the charges because she was tore up by the media and couldn't take it anymore. And they even show you Kobe's apology letter during the civil suit, which was settled and no money was given allegedly. And different people read different portions of the Kobe apology letter where it basically says he did it. I'm not going to weigh in on whether Kobe did it or not or whatever. My thing is your doc is called The Making of a Legend. To spend an entire episode on this thing was really gross to me. And they didn't leave it there because the third episode is the creation of the Black Mamba alter ego, Kobe using his rage to, create this other persona and push him to pinnacles where he never was before, not plateaus, to the top of the mountain. And then they even cover his retirement, his closeness with his daughters, and how it kept him balanced, and that was beautiful. But they also make sure to bring up the SA case once again. They make sure to tell you that when Kobe was getting nominated for the Oscar for his short film, that the SA allegations came back because it was the height of the Me Too movement, and people were petitioning and doing GoFundMe to raise money to be able to petition against Kobe winning this. Is this thing about Kobe or is it about allegations? because I'm very confused. They pretty much sped through all the basketball stuff after high school. Most of this doc is not about Kobe playing basketball, which is crazy because Kobe was a basketball player for most of his life. I don't understand what the hell CNN was doing. I am extremely disappointed in this doc. They were able to balance it, and I will give them credit for that, because the third episode, they did a really good job of covering from Black Mamba's inception until his passing. And so I will give them credit for that. But my gosh, to spend so much time on SA allegations, which were a very small piece of his life, is crazy to me. It's not like he was Harvey Weinstein or P. Diddy. I don't understand. Like, this was a thing that lasted a year of Kobe's life. Why are we focusing on it? And again, I'm not saying they shouldn't have discussed it. I'm not saying they're wrong for their journalistic approach of covering it. Getting different people to speak on it, no problem. Speaking about what happened in court, no problem. Even though I don't like that they showed the apology letter, okay, fine. But dog, 50 minutes of this 3-part doc is on a Kobe allegation case? Even if you feel he did it, we don't need to spend this much time on it when your thing is called The Making of a Legend. They didn't speak about Kobe's routines and how he, works out 4 times a day. And a lot of this stuff was just breezed by. Even the Olympics, when they spoke about how Kobe was the reason they won the famous Olympics that Kobe kind of took charge of. I think it was 2008, if I'm correct. Even that was one sentence. That was one sentence. Kobe winning the Olympics and taking charge of a team of stars that were a lot younger than him was one sentence. I don't understand. Those are my thoughts.
It sounds like maybe they hid another doc inside of the doc. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like they had 2 goals in the way they formatted it. I didn't see it, but that's what it sounds like to me. Like, they said they were telling one story, but they then told another story within the story, which is layered, right? It's a part of his story, whether we like it or not. But and like you said, they should absolutely good journalism is to include that this happened and this is a part of his story. I guess
Totally agree.
I guess I'm just I am a little bit confused by the fact that it sounded like it was going to be, something that focused more on his career, that for something that I'm assuming was about 3 hours long, they spent almost an hour on that. I mean, I get it. I get that it's a part of his story, but I'm just curious as to why they took that approach, because they also could have just made a documentary about the case.
I think it's nasty.
You
I
know what I
think it's
mean?
disgusting to do this to a person who's been gone for 5 years. I
Yeah.
think it's disgusting to do this with the title being Kobe, the Making of a Legend, when it sounds like you were trying to tear down his name and his legacy.
Yeah. No, I
It's
totally
almost like the point was to put a stain on his name.
right. Which is odd to me, because then also the doc could have just not been made. Again, I feel like then do the doc you wanted to do. Also, you could just, I don't know. I guess, again, I don't think they were wrong, but I do wonder why it was such a big chunk as opposed to spending more time on his career and his philosophies and things
Yeah.
like that. If they were going to take the approach of they're talking about how legendary he was, then it kind of just feels like there's some missed opportunity in the middle of it to.
Yeah, because it's almost like they wanted to make a doc not about the basketball star, but about the person Kobe was.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I don't know why you would not speak about the basketball, because like it was like Kobe went to the NBA and there was a lot of doubt. But he ended up winning 3 championships. It's like, that was it. That was the coverage of the 3-peat. Which is like history of,
Yeah.
like, it's history. They had these like huge historical moments in his career that got 1 sentence or 2 sentences.
Yeah.
And it was really weird. But it's like, okay, if that's the case, I don't know what's happening here. All right, sorry about that. Ring light just took a dive. I think that's weird, but even if that's the case, if your goal is to focus on Kobe the person, then that's fine. But why would Kobe the person get an hour or an entire episode of Kobe the person be about this case that was a year of his life?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird way to approach it. Like I could see if it was a longer docuseries and it was like there were more parts to it, but the fact that there were only 3 parts to it, it just seems like overkill.
It was. And I feel like it was. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, or like they missed the original goal. Like they went like they kind of veered. They went off on a tangent, and then it took them a while to come back. Which
it was the deepest deep dive ever of something that was 1 year of his life. And again, even if CNN felt he was guilty, there was another way to do this.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I understand.
I don't. It's so weird. It's like doing a movie about Denzel and we barely hear about him acting.
Yeah.
Once his career starts, right? It's like they do a lot of stuff about when he was a kid. But once his career actually starts, it's just like, yeah, he did a couple movies and he was the man. Oh, and then he won an Oscar and that was great. But it's like about his wife and how they almost broke up. And, he had a big fight with his son that tore their relationship for years. Why would that be the Denzel doc? Like,
yeah.
That's Denzel, the making of a legend? Like, I don't. I'm very disappointed in CNN. Yeah.
Sorry it wasn't, everything you expected it to be or wanted it to be.
I didn't really have an expectation except that they just did a great job with the Luther doc. So I'm like, oh, they bodied the Luther doc. We really enjoyed it. So I guess, all right, let's see what they do with Kobe. That was it. It wasn't that this was going to be the best shit since sliced bread. It just was like, all right, we know they're capable of doing great things. They just did something great with the Luther doc. This is after or around the same time. Let's see what they got. And I was like, oh, this is what they got? Like a whole episode on a year of his life. It was like somebody saw that the doc was going great and was like, hold on. Yeah, gotta talk about this. And it's like, I don't understand what was the point of that. Like, again, and I want to say again, I'm not saying he was innocent. I'm not saying they shouldn't have discussed it. But to spend an entire episode, to spend a third, 33% on that is crazy to me.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Because again, it's not like he had mad allegations, crazy Harvey Weinstein type stuff, R. Kelly type stuff. It was one case that didn't even finish. It didn't even. It was the case. The charges were dropped.
Right. Yeah. No, I get it. I understand what you're saying. I mean, sometimes that's just the way things go down. Like sometimes things are well thought out and executed well, and sometimes we gotta come on here and talk about the fact that maybe it wasn't done in the best way.
Yeah, I can't believe CNN did that. Shame on them.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that's our show. This has been Weeknights. Thank you for being here. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Bye.